Hello, welcome to my page. If you're new here, my name is Stephanie and you have made it to Home Decor for Everyone YouTube. Yeah, that's what we're gonna call it. I'm in the tub today because we are transforming this tub renter friendly style, no commitment style, budget friendly style, whatever you wanna call it. The idea is that anybody can do this transformation if they want to, so let's get started. I got these kind of sketchy peel and stick tiles on Amazon for $38 for 10 tiles. We are already off to a great start, aren't we? So here are the instructions and surfaces that these tiles are good to go on. Personally, want to put these on painted walls unless you're totally cool with ripping off your paint because these are no joke. Anyways, there are two ways you can install these. Horizontal, which is the traditional way, or vertical, which is more modern in my opinion. Either way, you'll have to cut off the extra tile to start. You can use scissors, but I use a paper cutter that I got at Walmart for 20 bucks because I cannot cut straight lines with scissors, and this actually gives me straight lines. Truly has saved my sanity on some of my projects. I could never get a line like this straight with scissors. There's no way. When I finally pull the backing off, you can see the back looks like foil, and that is because these are waterproof and steam proof. And now the fun stuff actually begins, which is installing them. When lining up your first tile, you will want to line the tiles up against the fiberglass edge in this case, and use that as your guide. Once we have it in place, you will press it on tight and finally pull the protective layer off because it's just easier to work with that on. It's also important to double check to make sure the edges are on good because it is oftentimes where these peel and stick tiles really start to fail. For the second piece, you'll line it up to make sure you properly measure for your next cut. I make my mark with nothing fancy, just a pin mark to the edge of the fiberglass, and I of course made this cut using a paper cutter, but even though the paper cutter is great, you still want to always check to make sure it is accurate before installing. And the great thing is in these overlap guides on these peel and stick tiles, it really makes lining and stacking tiles easier for sure. You would continue that same process until you get to the corner. And in my case, the corner is going to require some work to line up properly. I basically took the tile and lined it up against the neighboring tile and made a mark for where I need to cut it. Luckily, they fold easy, so this part isn't hard. It shouldn't scare you. And before I make my bottom cut, I do line the cut tile and the tile that's going on the other side to just make sure that they're lining up properly. And I did it this way because it reduced tile waste and it'll look just fine in my opinion. This corner was really difficult to film by myself, but hopefully you can see that I used one tile for that entire corner by just lining them up together, both for the top and the bottom tiles in this case. I really did not think you wanted to stare at the back of my head, so we're just gonna skip right to the last cut, which is just a tiny little strip that I measured to put on the bottom. For above the edge, I had to cut some of it off in order to line it up. The top portion of this was much easier. It made the mark for the top edge and just dropped the tile down to make the mark for where the fiberglass ended. That was honestly the hardest part about this project. All in all, this took me 3 hours with lots of little breaks. It cost just shy of $80 since I used 2 boxes. I do still need to go around the edges of the corner with caulk to just make sure no water gets underneath, but I really love this project and I will update you on how they hold up through baths and cleaning once we have had some time with them. Thank you so much for being here. I am so excited to share with you the next project. I already got it planned, so make sure you subscribe to see what other crazy projects I have planned.